So viewers, I'm back to bring you part 2 of dominating with option routes. And this time is going to be based out of pistol spread and the play is 60 HY option. You're going to flip the formation and have the quicker developing option route on your right. I'll explain why later. Personnel wise, you're going to want a receiver with at least 92 route running and place him at number 2 on your depth chart. And a fairly tall receiver or anybody who's not crazy short is your number 1. Then package the formation of wide receiver slot so your number 2 is lined up in the right slot and your number 1 is lined up to his right. Lastly, if you have a good tight end, you can formation settle him in at the left slot. Your high routes are going to be to put X on a smoke route, which is the right trigger on the controller, and RB on a curl. As you can see, the play will revolve around the option route by A. And when you think of option routes, this is probably what pops in your head first, and it's a route that Wes Welker and Jason Witten have made careers on. Your first read of the play will be the A receiver. His job is to be the Wes Welker of the offense. Versus man defense, he will either run an in route or an out route. The game is programmed to where A chooses which route he runs solely based on if the opponent picks a bump or off coverage play. And obviously, since you can run bump when you break the huddle off of off coverage play and vice versa, it's best to not anticipate which way he'll go till he does it. And being lined up where he is, your opponent can either choose to come out and dime and put a lower rated corner on him while weakening the run defense, or play base and put a slower safety or linebacker on him, so when they're a man, it's a matchup nightmare either way. And versus zone, he will convert to a hitch route and settle into the void in the coverage. There will be times where you can fit the ball in there for a short gain on say 3rd and 4. But other times the defense will blanket him, which is when you move on to RB on the curl route, who just like in the last video serves as a checkdown versus man and zone coverage, and if defended properly versus zone, he serves a dual purpose of holding the middle linebacker from playing any other routes. Your next read will be Y on the other option route. Versus man defense, he can either run a post or a deep in route. And just like the A receiver, the route he chooses is based on the initial play pick by the defense, but since both routes are equally effective in creating separation, versus man defense, you're good. You lead right once he makes his break inside to pick up yards after the catch. And versus zone, he will run a post versus cover 2 and a deep end versus cover 3 and 4. Both are designed versus zone to sneak behind any yellow zones and in front of the safety, while the running back holds the linebacker from creeping over. Once he gets behind the defender, you lead pass inside so the underneath defender can't undercut it. The next read is X on a smoke route. He's there to be the dump off versus zone blitzes, and because his players run from pistol instead of shotgun, you can flip which side the smoke route is on without tipping off your opponent. And can make your opponent shy about blitzing since they can't key in on your blitz beater if you're running from both sides. And your last read will be B on the street. I said earlier A was the Wes Welker of the offense, well the B receiver you can say is Randy Moss. If you've gotten this far in your progression, B is probably 1-on-1 with the corner and you probably have very few pass rushers after you, so you can let it rip with whatever technique you use to catch the ball. If he is still double, yeah, you can still catch it if you use your skills like that tight, and depending on who your number 1 receiver is, but if you'd rather not risk it, check the amount of pass rushers coming after you, and look to pick up a few yards with your feet to live to see another down. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed part 2 of Mastering Option Routes, and like, comment, and mostly subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. Be good, y'all.